Welcome to Browny's podcast. Campbell Brown, Jonathan Brown, myself, Dean Thomas, Beck's here, our social media legend, our producer Brody's here, and apparently... Happy birthday to you. Not sure if we can play that legally, that music.
Yeah, you leave it in there, baby.
Hey, happy birthday!
Yes, it's 3 big years.
3 huge years.
Browny's podcast has been amazing. I can't believe we've lasted this long, Brown Dog.
Sense of relief came over me on Sunday when I woke up and... there was an assassination attempt on my man. If you come at the king, you best not miss, Dino.
Why are you pointing at me,
He's
you dickhead?
still with us.
That's real sus,
Well, he
that.
wanted to be here for our 3rd birthday.
He did, didn't he?
He did. He
and
didn't want
thank
to give
God
up.
Trump's still alive.
Divine intervention.
Mate, you would have got a bit of a bus fat when you saw that image of him fist pumping the air.
It was
You would have been quite aroused.
likened to Braveheart, William Wallace.
Very the same, I'd say.
Yeah.
Blood
Yeah.
on the cheek and the American flag and fight. It was iconic.
It almost makes him an unbackable favourite.
Yeah, he's home.
Is he home?
Yeah, he's home.
It's the worst
He
thing
just
that
needs
could
to
have
survive
It's the worst
until
thing that could
November.
have happened
Who
to
shot
the
him?
Democrats.
Who shot at him?
It was
Lee
actually
Harvey Oswald.
It was
It
actually
was, in fact.
It's John.
Well
please.
done.
from the grassy knoll.
1963. Well done,
John,
Campbell.
who shot at Trump?
It was actually a Republican.
Oh, that's
was.
cool, man.
We don't know.
You guys are a great
We
team.
don't know
No,
anything.
but maybe there was a setup. So
Oh!
if you actually think if he's a Republican, what's the way that's going to get him over the line for sure is to be able to show that, you know, the Braveheart style image,
Yeah.
which we saw with the blood dripping out his ears. So
Yeah.
if he was a trained assassin, surely a trained assassin's hitting from 130 metres away. Maybe it was all set up for that bullet just to pierce the earlobe.
Smart.
To
That's
give
what you
him
don't
the-
need that. If it's in the hand or something, it could cripple you, or the chest or
Smart.
something. If it hits you in the earlobe, you're all good to go, baby.
The guy that shot him looks like he's from a trailer park.
That's right. The only problem is the guy that shot him,
Yeah.
who it was all a setup in the first place,
Yeah.
he then had his head blown off.
Yes, he did.
So he probably didn't think that part through.
Campbell, I'm glad your hero is alive.
Same.
And if he died, it would have been worse, I reckon.
Yeah, there would have been
Civil
a
War.
civil war.
Actually, I'm fair to say though, I'm probably not comfortable in booking a trip to the States in November, December, January.
no time
Probably
soon.
not for. I'm not sure the Super Bowl's on the card now next year.
Let's go to Europe, I think.
Yeah,
Europe
Europe.
Let's take the
operates.
podcast to Europe. Hey, we didn't talk about this because we haven't done a pod since Barry's fight.
Oh, yes,
Yes.
now, just breaking news.
Yeah.
I've reached out to Jeff Fennick because he was really sad and upset over the weekend. I touched base, I text Kostya Zoo, and I was having a quick chat to Danny Green, and all three of them said to me on Thursday,
Yeah.
they got calls from the bosses, no longer required to do boxing commentary anymore because Big J Brown's taken over.
Thank you.
He's the new man.
Thank you.
I didn't want to pay the $60 to hear it. How did you go, brother?
I dominated. My boxing credentials, my sister Gabrielle, Gabs, is ironically trauma nurse. She won a Victorian state title. My young bloke Jackie Brown boxes, and I was undefeated in the sparring ring at the Brisbane Lions over 15 years. A storied career, it's fair to say.
How'd the talking go?
It was fun. I had a great night. I was there with Megan Barnard.
Yes.
And Pete Bedell, who's a fantastic award-winning journalist from The Australian. So we sat there, and then the Volk called it with Barry Michael and Ben Damon. So what a fun night. I tell you, there is nothing better, though,
Yes.
than the atmosphere of boxing and the build-up and the suspense when you build up to a big fight.
And all the
And I was-
and all the criminals and crime gangs
Yeah.
in attendance
I
as
can
well.
think of way funner stuff.
It's the
but-
safest night of the year.
It was fun. It's a lot of my mates there. Good, yeah, fantastic. I was up on the panel at bird's eye seats to watch the fights, and unfortunately, it was a great night of boxing. Unfortunately, Baz's fight was a bit of a fizzer.
He didn't have a great night.
That's quite an understatement. And I don't want to knock anyone that tries anything because people don't. People are just
Yeah.
scared to try shit. That was
Course.
real bad, dog.
Well, Curtis Scott can box. I remember when he played at the Storm and he threw a big right hand that broke the eye socket of Dylan Walker.
Oh, dear.
And got sent off, and he's been in some indiscretions over the journey. I think he got tasered by the Sydney.
Barry Hall looked like Joe Biden in there.
But he was smaller. He'd had less experience, and he knocked him out in the first round.
I think the comparison to Joe Biden
Mate,
was that you're probably on the money there a little
thank
bit.
you. I'm not joking.
Now, Baz is not that much younger than Joe Biden, it's fair to say. But I
He's at
text
the end
Baz,
of him.
I text him and said, mate, I hope you're all right. Obviously, great things ahead. His wife was
Yeah.
having a baby. She would have had it the next day. But like you said, at 47, lost the reflexes, lost the speed, and more importantly, lost the chin. his response. But he was in good spirits, so he's okay, and he didn't get knocked around too much. But you're right, he's a brawler, Curtis Scott.
Yeah, he is.
But he's 20 years younger. That's what people forget.
But Barry's probably never quite been the same since I ran through him at Etihad Stadium that year.
really?
Got 2 weeks suspension.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think that really shook him to the core.
Yeah.
Did that change the trajectory of his life?
I
His
think
boxing
so.
career, it did.
Yeah, because he was really angry on the ground, and then he looked up to see who'd got him.
Yeah, he must have thought
And as
someone
soon as he
huge did
saw
it.
it was me, like he went
stayed
back
down.
into his shell.
He stayed
and,
down.
and I think he lost his air of invincibility.
Hey, still to come, we've got a degenerate coming on to celebrate our third birthday. Now,
I just say,
Brody's
too-
picked the degenerate that's coming on. It's going to make other degenerates jealous. You're aware of that, right? You don't care?
Everyone gets their time to shine, and this person deserves to celebrate with
Yeah,
us.
he did.
Right on.
He was the one that made us aware that it was our birthday.
Oh, I
for
knew,
you.
guys. I knew.
You did not.
Don't worry, I knew.
I didn't know.
I don't know.
And just to tidy up the boxing,
Oh, yes?
in what world does the catering provide a tofu salad?
Oh, come on.
Nah.
Out the back.
Come on.
No meat, no chicken, no fish, no beef.
Aaron
anywhere.
chicken balls?
No. It was just tofu salad with some of those rice
That's
noodles.
shocking. I don't think vegetarians
It's
go
shocking.
to the boxing.
Well, I agree with that.
Yeah.
But even if they do, there should be other options. So I'm out the back of Wollongong Entertainment Centre or Wynn Entertainment Centre, and I'm thinking, surely going to get a nice meal, just maybe even a little bit of a Wagyu salad or just a roast chicken salad, just something basic like that. No, tofu.
Garbage by
That's
them.
some bullshit,
Okay,
John.
I just thought I'd put that on the agenda.
Our pie is going to make the finals. I can't believe we're even chucking this up.
I don't think they will
Tough
now.
run.
It's wild.
Apart from Richmond, which they should win not this week, next week. They've got Hawthorn this week. Still got Brisbane to come. Still got Sydney to come. Still got Carlton to come. Just still got GWS to come.
Yeah, look, they're not playing with the same level of just fanaticism, speed of ball as they did last year. You've got to remember they
That's a
won a
good
lot
word.
Well done, bro.
They've won a lot of
Well
close
done.
games. This year, they haven't won as many close games, and they're getting shown up a little bit. So, injuries have hurt them, but I don't think Collingwood now play finals. I just don't. I can't see it.
Do Hawthorn play finals?
I think they're going to miss out just.
You got to believe in it,
I
man.
believe. No, I thought they could beat the Dockers down there on the weekend, and they're winning ugly too, which when the game is not played on their terms, they're finding a way to fight their way back into it. Some great individual acts. Sicily going forward was great coaching, but also he kicked three and produced the ruck tap from Lloyd Meek to a moving Jai Newcomb in the last quarter that snapped that goal on the fly.
Big.
Was quintessential, magnificent, delectable football.
Oh,
I
nice
mean,
word
I'm
again.
glad delectable came because the other words
It
were
wouldn't
like,
quite make sense.
You were searching for
It
something.
was as pure a stoppage
What's
as you could
delectable
get.
mean again?
Delicious.
Yeah, lovely.
nice.
Palatable.
It's fair to say, but you wouldn't be on your Pat Malone there, Brown Dog, saying Collingwood won't play finals, because if you look at the teams just outside the eight, Port Adelaide, Western Bulldogs, Gold Coast, Collingwood and Hawthorn, you would have to say Hawthorn and the Bulldogs would be ahead of Collingwood in terms of likelihood of making the finals.
Yeah, and I don't think any of those sides deserve
Rhodes
to
has
play
just had a
finals, to
conniption
be
over
honest.
there. He had Kenny Ingley sacked outside.
I know.
He said, Kenny, sack him now.
I don't speak ill of my Kenny, but we'll make finals, but we'll finish 7th.
And will
eighth.
Will
We got
Kenny be
Richmond this
coaching
week.
Will
next?
your Kenny catch a bullet or not?
It's things are looking grim for Kenny, and he's a good person, but I think that they will see out the end of the year, and then they'll say, Kenny, your time has come.
Mate,
Go to sleep, Kenny.
I hate how you qualified all the time by he's a good person. You
Yeah.
are a weak prick.
Yeah.
Because you're worried.
What does it matter
the
if you're a good
off chance
person?
that Kenny's going to hear that. So he qualifies. Like, he's been wanting him necked for the best part of 2 years. And then he always goes, look, Kenny's a good person, though.
I know.
Oh, what do you think he's going to say? Oh, that's okay, Broads. I know you've been sticking knives in me for the last 2 years, but you said I'm a good person.
Yeah, it's like those Secret Service that can't holster a gun, right? But we can put them on the protective regime because they're good people.
Beck, thanks for the party blowers too. We haven't. Come on, give him a.
okay.
Give him a. Happy birthday, you bastards! You sons of bitches.
I tell you who I'd be terrified of playing.
Yes.
Brisbane. The AJB, they're back, baby.
Hey.
And Lockie Neal could win another Brownlow.
Third Brownlow.
Do you think?
Third Brownlow, first in the, well, not the modern era. Last person was Ian Stewart, 1971. He won one at, I think he won one at St Kilda, two at Richmond. But Absolutely could. He's a known vote getter, and who is taking votes off him? Last year, Danaher was the second highest for Brisbane with 12 votes.
McCluggey just had a good year, but he
didn't vote last year.
No.
Will Ashcroft only 10 votes last year. So, and they're in a winning team.
And he's been hitting the scoreboard. He's been kicking goals, which makes him obviously.
Hey, Eagles did all right.
Yeah, they were good. They were competitive.
They were fine.
No, well, I thought they were really good. It was a danger game. You know what? Those trips to Perth, it used to be just get the win. Doesn't matter how shit West Coast are going or Fremantle are going at the time.
Yes.
You just got to get the 4 points over there.
Yes.
And keep out of trouble in Northbridge after the game because things used to get a little bit loose. I remember one time, can you believe this? One time, the coaches would often go home. We'd play it on a Saturday evening.
Yeah.
So the fitness staff wanted us to stay. I thought it'd be better for our recovery. But the coaching staff went back home or went via Melbourne to watch an opposition team. So Lee, on the bus, we went out for dinner before they went to the airport and then we went to do our own thing. Recover back at the hotel.
Straight to the Llama Bar.
Just before we left.
Dog, the Llama Bar in Subiaco.
Yeah,
Just
baby.
before Lee left, he stood up the front of the bus and said, boys, now recover. The reason we're staying for an extra night is recover. Look after yourselves. Got a big game next week. I'm leaving Uncle Martin in charge of you guys until you get on the plane. Well, obviously, Lethal left the bus and Uncle Martin said, right, you've got 10 minutes, hurry up and get upstairs and put your going out gear on. We're heading out. And I think we got home at about 6 a.m. We made the flight home.
Hey,
mate.
good news, dog. The Llama Bar's still going.
Yeah, it's a good venue.
Can't believe that.
Props to the
Is it
Llama
still
Bar. Still
going?
many a night there.
Hey, really quickly back to
we
Collingwood.
might end up
Kane
wrong,
Corns brought up that behind the goal camera footage, the real incriminating
Yes,
shit.
yeah.
And he went to town on Darcy Moore.
Yeah, he's had a bad year, Darcy. A horrendous year. Because the aim of a defender, right, especially if you're an intercept defender, is to impact contests. Come off your man and impact. Either take an intercept mark, bring the ball to ground. But he's getting caught in no man's land consistently when he's not getting to the contest or he's getting caught in between. They're losing the contest, which means that his direct opponent is miles in the clear and they're just getting overlap marks and kicking goals. And I don't know why, because he was so brilliant at that last year.
Lost
That was
Nathan
key to
Murphy.
his game.
Nathan Murphy was a great coverer for him. Jeremy Howe wasn't there on the weekend, even though he played forward the week before. They've had injuries. Some of their older blokes are slowing down, no question about it, and they're not as composed, unfortunately, at the moment. I put this on the agenda 2 or 3 weeks ago on the couch. It's Nick Dacos or bust, and it's just unsustainable to put it on the shoulders of a 20-year-old week in, week out, don't you think?
Yeah,
Yes.
it is. I mean, speaking of Brownlow medals, he can certainly win the Brownlow because he can pole, and he's had another awesome year. Like, even on the weekend they lose, but he's in the best 2 or 3 players on the ground.
I think Lockie Neal beats him. I think Lockie Neal wins his 3rd Brownlow medal.
Cripper's still playing good footy.
Cripper's playing great. Bont wouldn't have voted on the weekend,
No.
though. Obviously,
And
the
Heaney's
Sydney
out.
boys, Heaney's out. Goulden had 41 disposals, but like Warner as well as Heaney, they're going to take votes off each other. So I think Lockie Neal is my man to win the Brownlow medal and be the first player in 50-odd years to win a 3rd Brownlow medal. It'd be unbelievable. People would have to start talking about him because it seems like he flies under the radar.
He doesn't deserve it.
Brody.
What?
Oh, bro. It's-
Based on.
The best player I've ever seen is Gary Ablett Jr. You watched Gold Coast games, and this is when you were there, Campbell, and no one watched it for you, but you watched Gold Coast games to see Gary play.
And me.
And he was robbed of that 3rd Brownlow medal when he did his shoulder, and I think he was pretty much leading up until round 17.
I think Greg Williams was as well. He had 44 disposals in the last round and didn't get a vote.
Yeah,
Didn't
and
get 3 votes.
I just think that Gary should go down as the greatest player of our generation, and I
What?
feel that 3 Brownlow medals will kind of overshadow that. Not that Lockie's a bad player, but
Mate, he's a superstar.
That's all I heard.
But
I
he's
heard
not
you say
Gary.
Lockie Neal's a bad
That's
player.
enough, Brody Pomeroy.
Carlton. Fallible.
Yes.
How did doggies do it?
Well, desperation. They were the junkyard dogs. I loved it. And I did that game. Navy Blues, I think it's just a little sharpen up. I don't think we'll see 2 ruckmen very often, De Koning and Pitnet. I think it'll be just be De Koning. The fact that Charlie kicked 3 goals, 7 doesn't help your cause. does it?
It's a disaster. And Mackay kicked 3 too, so they've ended up having 15 shots between them and only kicking 6 goals. It's not ideal.
Jamara on fire.
Jamara was fantastic. He really fought his way into the game. I like what Bevo's done with the dogs. He's been whacked from pillar to post. His dogs have responded, and he's been able to retool, rewire, rejig that team on the run because they are still relatively young. They had 8 players under 50 games. So you've got to take your hat off to Bevo. Like, because he had lost that game on the weekend. There's still an undercurrent or an undertone of people
Sack
out
Bevo.
there. Sack Bevo, especially when Simo's gone. You thought if he loses that game and maybe the next couple of games, people are going to be coming for Bevo.
Yep.
But the way I saw his players go and play for him on the weekend tells me that he's got those players.
Big.
So,
They're a much better side with Rory Lobb in the team. I know he doesn't get massive numbers and he's not kicking goals because he's been playing down back and things like that. But since he's come back into the side in round 13, they've won 4 and lost 2. I think it just helps them. You know what I mean? With that bigger body, he can do some pinch hitting in the ruck. He can go forward.
I think Carlton will be okay, though, during the year, later in the year, because finals are played at the MCG. I'm not sure how well they go on the smaller decks. Marvel, SCG, last 2 weeks. I feel like they like the wide open spaces and the expanse of the MCG, where the finals will be played. And, they may have to go to Sydney, of course, to play in final. But I feel like it just gives Curnow and Mackay more room to move, and Wiedering's a good one-on-one contested player.
Hey, bro, did Willie Rioli, was he injured this round? Or did
No,
he
he's
play?
been playing Sandful for a while. But
Oh, he can't get a game.
yeah, that's why he was over there. But yeah, he's been playing Sandful for, I think, 3 weeks now.
Oh, shit, because it was great to see him in Simo's box. Did you
yeah,
see
it was
that, Dogs?
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice.
Also,
Having a couple of frothies.
you could tell Mark LaCroix was the chief mischief maker in
Oh,
that
you
box.
can tell that, absolutely.
He was on fire.
I love the mischief of Adam Simpson, though, who
Yeah,
I
man.
think it was done really well in the end. It
Same.
looked like it had whiskers all over it. The fact he didn't coach, then he's going to toss the coin. You go, what's that about? Well, I love the fact that he wore like a retro West Coast Eagles tracksuit.
A New Balance one.
Mate, it looked awesome. And then he went out and did the coin toss. Quite a few, it was NAIDOC week, so quite a few of the lads, the brothers, were out there tossing the coin from each team. And then he did the old marmalade trick where he looked up high into the sky as if the coin was going up. Well, the coin had already been tossed.
Yeah.
Oh, he fooled him.
He needed
fooled
to
him,
commit to
yeah.
it for 2 more seconds, but he did. Bit of horseplay.
A bit of horseplay. I liked it. So I
then-
think it was a good send-off in the fact that he got to wave to all the crowd.
Yeah, he spoke to everyone when he walked off. It was nice. It was nice, Doc.
Yeah,
If you could,
I've got my Perth Vegas sniper. He's been sending me a
Yes.
few text messages. He's the guy that gives me the mail, and so we've spoken about Dean Cox having a Hungry Jack's up in Sydney. He said I wouldn't be surprised if Jack Cohen, who owns Hungry Jack's, he's the big dog, maybe just offers him another one in Western Australia. Just it might help get him
Get
across
him
the
home.
line because Simo's got 3. Simo's
now.
got 3. Yeah.
At any stage, does Simo have to go and work behind the jump like Lee Colbert did? Because Colby owns the McDonald's up in Mildura. And one great story, Brent Harvey walked into the McDonald's once and didn't realise Colby was taking over some McDonald's, and Colby's working behind the jump.
Because you have to do that. If you own, you have to do it. I think, is it 12 months?
Boomer's ordered a couple of Happy Meals for his kids or whatever it was, and he said he walked away, thought, yeah, how you going, Colby? Everything right? You're working behind the jump and Macca's where 15-year-olds should be working.
Yeah, it's different when you own them. Yeah, he's up in Mildura at the moment, Colby, with his Maccas.
Before the break, there's all the way to 13th. 9th to 13th could play
Good
finals.
season. AFL be absolutely wrapped.
This is huge.
There's upsets every single week. Plenty of chances going into the August month.
I love
Okay,
this shit.
considering our fixture is uneven,
Yes.
and I'm not talking about travel, but the fact that we don't play each other twice, is it time to revisit the wild card round? Because you can make a strong argument that there's hardly any difference between 4th and 5th and 13th.
Yeah.
So to sort it out, we have the wild card round in that bye week before the final starts. So 7v10, 8v9.
Yeah, interesting.
Like just to sort out that sort of the inequities of the fixture. I don't know. It's just a thought. And then we don't have this bloody weekend
We had
off.
that in the
have a bit of
VFL.
footy. Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Did it work?
Last year.
And how did it go?
Yeah, I thought it was okay. Yeah. But they were trialling it, in the VFL to see what it would be like for the AFL, and then we just haven't heard anything about it ever again. Hasn't been spoken about.
I just think it'd be a way to smooth out that inequity. Isn't it?
Yeah, inequity.
Inequities.
Yeah.
So, and so, yes, people say, you don't deserve to make it if you're 10th. Well, yeah, you don't deserve to make it, but you should be given an opportunity potentially. And the fact that those teams would have to play while the other teams have a rest, that's also a disadvantage as well for finishing down the bottom part of the ladder from 7
Because
to 10.
the sides that have played North Melbourne, Richmond, West Coast Eagles this year twice, and
Absolutely.
is a massive
Huge
advantage.
advantage.
It is.
And it's the difference, could be the difference between making finals and not making finals.
But if you bring that up, you got to bring up Collingwood and their MCG schedule.
All sorts of
bullshit.
Yeah.
Hey, after the ads, I got some golden audio for you. It's our birthday, so we're going to get a degenerate on by the name of
Royzer.
Turn your mic on.
Royzer.
What a disappointment.
I
that
love
was.
it when you try and speak and you can't.
Jeez.
Back in a second. Welcome back to Brownie's Podcast, at Brownie's Podcast, TikTok and Instagram and all that stuff. It's our third birthday. Favourite memories from the journey,
I've
Dog?
got a
What do you
few,
got?
yeah, I've been racking my mind since Roy told us. And look, these are just my personal favourite memories.
Yeah.
We're all going to have different memories.
Yep.
The listener party at the precinct was one of my favourite memories.
What? Was he there?
No, I don't
think
believe
he
you
was
were there.
Yeah.
No, were you there, Dog?
No, but I heard it was a good day. I was down in.
Actually, that's right. You were supposed to play the trumpet, and Dino had to get up and play the trumpet.
I was
Went
down.
well.
I was
It went
down
well.
doing
A lot of
Hawthorn
feedback.
Brisbane game. I thought the Melbourne Cup last year when we all caught the train into the Cup and had a nice day there was great.
Actually,
Day.
hang on a minute.
Yeah.
There was only 3 people on that train, and you weren't one of them.
Jesus Christ, Dog. Have you been... This is like... I feel like you're a shit uncle that never rocks up
Yes.
to anything.
No,
Don't you like
what
us?
about that night we had drinking whiskey in Jeff Kennett's whiskey bar?
That never happened. We never got
happened.
around to
Never
that.
got around.
What about when we went to Marvel Stadium and watched
Lethal Weapon
Lethal
2?
Weapon 2 and beanbags and that? The JB sorted.
We talked about doing that for 3 months and just couldn't get it up,
Well,
John.
Nadine, who was working for the AFL, she
Always
went to
someone.
work for Collingwood. So I had no pull with the chief executive.
Memories.
Memories. I love dog busking, just putting it out there. I love when a man takes himself out of the comfort zone, especially a man as least talented as Brown Dog when it comes to singing or vocally challenged. He went into the steps of the town hall.
I did.
And got up there and raised a measly sum of $1.70.
I was like Teddy Swims. That's how
beautiful.
good I was without the voice.
Did I step on you then? You got any more moments you wanted to get off? Or?
No, Neil Nadarnam was good fun when we caught the bus trip down.
You didn't leave the bus.
Zero contribution, you mate.
I was sick.
Jesus. Mine was when you bailed on the whole trumpet thing. And then you gave me the trumpet and just said, you got to do it, man.
Yeah.
So I did it against a lot of opposition.
I know.
Listen to the feedback I'm getting during this moment. Mate.
Yeah, it's good times.
That's good times.
No, great times. And the other one that really caught my attention was when we tied you to a chair down at Port Melbourne Beach and threw
cinnamon on it.
cinnamon all over you.
Because he's a single man still.
I get it. Didn't happen.
What was all that about? If you're a single man, you get cinnamon
If
thrown
you're
on you.
25 or something over in Norway or Denmark or somewhere, you get peppered with cinnamon.
And here's why I f***ing said no to that. Because I'm 38 and you would have thrown it too hard, right in my eyes. Hey, let's celebrate with calling one of our most
Yes,
loyal
get Royzer
listeners,
on.
Royzer. Let's go.
Hello.
Yo!
WTV, right?
Royzer.
3 years. What's been your favourite memory?
Talk. Talk to us.
Right.
How are you, Dino?
Hey!
Oh, that's better, Royzer.
There we go. Royzer, how are you, brother? Give us an update about your life. Away you go.
Cold. It's freezing. I'm out at in the Yarra Valley at the moment, just doing a bit of work, and yeah, it's just been enjoying your 3 years of absolute brilliance.
When did you start, Royzer? First episode?
First episode. I look back at it. I listened to it yesterday, the first episode, and it was absolutely brilliant. It's magnificent, as they say. It spasmodically changed the day of podcasting.
Spasmodic. He's chucked in a spasmodic.
Spasmodic. It was magnamicent. I think that's the word you're looking for, Royzer. Magnamicent.
That's it.
Royzer, what's your favourite memory? If you actually look, you've been to a few of the listener parties over the journey. Obviously, you've listened to all the episodes. What is?
I've got a couple for you. Brown dog busting outside the train station.
No,
Yeah.
underrated.
Popular.
There was another one. Papa losing his Air Jordan.
That's all right. That was good, wasn't it? He got robbed by a homeless man.
And yeah, the Queen of Canada, Shari, not getting let into BOG.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
One of my favourite TV shows of all time.
were you there that night, Royce? So when Sherry turned up to the waiting room of the audience for Best on Ground, that long-lasting show,
With a
and she
group of our listeners.
You group of our listeners, absolutely shit-faced in the green room, and then wasn't allowed entry onto the set. Were you there, Royce?
No, I wasn't there, but I heard she blamed the shoes.
Yes, you did too. The high heels.
Royza, do you have a shout out for any of the other degenerates you want to say hello to?
Yeah, I want to say big shout out. In the end of the day, these 3 years have been absolutely magnificent. We've made a lot of friends through the WhatsApp thread. What's his name? Peter. I'll give him no cash out Viserys. Give him a shout out.
Yes. Oh, I remember when that bet that he didn't cash out on.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, a lot of friends I've made throughout the 3 years with you guys. It's been absolutely great.
No, we appreciate your support, Royce. We love it.
Can you just can we just recall that story, that quick cash out story?
Yeah, can you tell us that one, Royza?
So he was with 1 round to go. He was still. Peter had put $100. I think it was the start of the year. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was the start of the year. And at the last round, going into it, he was at $5.5 or $5.5 grand.
What was the bet again?
And I knew it. I knew he wasn't gonna make it because I think Lockie Neal was too far in front. And it was 25 grand he would have won if everything went according to plan.
Just quickly clarify what the bet was, Royza.
It was $100 to win the.
What player?
What player?
Now
Sydney player. Oh, we'll clear this up.
Goulden. Earl Goulden.
Errol Goulden.
That's right.
That's right. Yes. To win Errol Goulden to win the Brownlow medal, obviously at a young age, he had $100 on it. He could have cashed out at $5,000
With one round to go.
With 1 round to go, and or potentially risk winning 25 grand or losing the lot. And he decided not to cash out. He went for the Errol Goulden one when Lockie Neal clearly was going to be the winner. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. He was absolutely shitting himself. He did have an interview on SDN, a great network, as we say. And yeah, he did have an interview, and I did mention it. That my mate's got had him at $5 grand, and yeah, he just thought he'd stick with him, and he had a good laugh about it, and said he was shitting himself.
Pete has real brass testicles after that.
He does, absolutely.
Royza, before we let you go, and we appreciate your time.
Can I give a Monday fire up at last week's episode for Brody? Right?
Let's go.
Let's go.
So, Brown Dog, you've got 205 games of absolute stellar career, 109 goals, 6 Brownlow votes, 615 1%ers at AFL level, and an astonishing AFL and VFL commentary career.
Fight.
Right? We have Brody, as a 3-time participation award winner.
Fight.
A reluctant bench warmer in the Mount Eliza Division 4 reserve side. Brody should have stayed in his lane, like Julian Assange should have.
Yes.
Today.
Fight. Good on you, Royce. Come on, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that
was a bit of hot.
And he's managed to drop Hockjaw as well.
We love it. Thanks, Royce.
Royza, see you later, brother. Thank you for coming on.
Have a good show, guys.
See you, mate.
What a man,
fantastic.
dog.
A very obscure reference to Julian Assange. Not sure what he had to do with birds. Hey, I've got an idea.
What?
I've got an idea.
Yes.
Dino and myself yesterday, we sort of workshopped this.
Yeah, at the
I
bar.
threw it up at the bar and I said, I could become, I've got an interesting coaching.
Yeah.
Obviously, I did a fantastic job down in North Melbourne for a few weeks.
Fantastic job.
What about I become a professional caretaker coach?
Think about it.
Think about it. So,
A coach is like on his last leg,
Yep.
and then John just starts hovering around. leaving his business card around.
Yeah.
With knowledge that he is only
A caretaker.
Yeah.
And I'm there. If you think of Harvey Keitel's character, Winston Wolfe in Pulp Fiction,
Yes.
he was the clean-up man. So Harvey would turn up,
Yeah.
or Winston, as his character is known as, in his car with all the clean-up work.
Oh,
now,
don't
you
mind
think
it.
in the boot of my car would be 18 polo tops,
Yes.
soon to be 19 polo tops, ready to go. And then you don't put, for example, a guy like Jared Schofield who's got a budding coaching career, you don't put him under pressure. So I would come in for Adam Simpson and I would coach out the rest
Do
of
your
the year at the
7
West
games,
Coast.
yep.
Do the 7, no pressure. Okay?
Don't want the top job next year.
Don't
You're not
the
going to
top-
apply it.
Players wouldn't be off put by
Yeah.
it. They just do their best. I'd be able to create a fun environment.
Fun environment.
I'd have the boys playing 10-pin bowling.
Yeah.
Come on, boys, Tuesday night, let's get in the pub. You know, change
Hey,
things up.
casual Friday, you can wear whatever you want.
Absolutely. So
I don't mind it.
And then I take off and just wait for the call the next time. Even last year when Clarko went away for his 14-week sojourn,
That's it.
I could have come in and really helped the club and liven
Mate,
up in a difficult situation.
It's genius, and I love the idea of in the Hilux there being 19 polos with different teams.
Don't you think?
He just slips it on, and there's no tension in
Well,
the
that's
club.
right. The way Broads has got Kenny marked, maybe I might appear at Port Adelaide
Get
later
over
in the
there.
year.
Mate, good idea.
I think it's smart.
Don't
Yes.
you? A professional caretaker coach. Well, that's a win-win.
And there's no damage done to the reputations of the assistants.
Yes.
There you go. I just thought I'd put it out there.
I've got some great audio
I'm
from.
open for business.
Did anyone see Jeff Kennett on Footy Classified?
We love Jeff. He's staunch.
Well, first of all, he didn't want to be there, clearly.
No.
Because him and Caro were going to really go at it. And Jonathan and I were just very tickled about the intro. Sam McClure does his big spiel, and then Jeff really sarcastically says he's happy to be there.
Ding, 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 indeed. Welcome back to Footy Classified, and he's come back from the grave, to use his own words. Jeff Kennett, we appreciate you being here. Welcome.
I can't tell you what a pleasure it is.
Isn't that just dripping in sarcasm as he stares across at Caro?
Oh, man. I can't tell you. I simply can't tell you. What a pleasure.
Sorry.
Oh, I love the man. Let's just have a listen to a bit of him and Caro going at it. You can't. It's like Trump.
Well, she was coming at him for his presidential career, I guess.
Yeah.
His chairmanship at Hawthorn and the questionable decisions he made, especially late. And was really trying to sully his reputation, I guess, as the president of the Hawthorn Footy
Four
Club.
flags and $70 million in the green.
Yeah.
Let's have a listen.
Into the development
Jeff,
at Dingley, which
I
is
have a lot of respect
Sorry, can
for
I
what,
just...
No. We've
Thirdly,
only got 12 minutes, Jeff.
third-
We can't have a history
Well,
with
then, please
in your
let me
last
finish.
year,
You've been
a split with a
in the
premiership
third
coach,
area,
a four-time
can I just
premiership
say,
coach,
in
so
the third-
acrimonious, he won't come back to the club is a mess.
Can
a
I
$1
just say-
million
Let it go.
payout
The
for a
third
contract.
the third
Oh,
thing...
it's not fair to have a history lesson. We don't have time.
Sorry, you said I left the club in a mess.
In the last year, yes.
So,
That's what I
please.
said.
4 premierships.
Oh!
Bit of bickering. It's hard to listen to, isn't it? If you ask a question, you should be allowed to answer the question
that's
in
true.
your entirety.
To be fair, he took it for a walk before.
he did.
He did take her for a walk. Actually, we got Clarko on the couch tonight, so just got to be mindful and keep an eye out on Clarko, who takes it for a walk sometimes. And some of his answers.
How do you stop it? Like, if you got like a formidable figure like Clarko, how on God's green earth do you stop him from just banging on? How?
Very difficult.
Because they don't give you a gap to get in.
No, they just kept talking. They're masters of it.
Yeah.
Mick Moldhouse was, Kevin Sheedy was.
Because the longer they talk, the less questions they need to answer.
Smart.
Remember the night Kevin Sheedy was our assistant coach for the state game in 2008, and I wasn't aware of Sheeds talking to the boys, and a couple of the Essendon boys in the team said, "Oh, he's speaking at dinner. Let's just watch him, try and follow him." He got up, he spoke about 5 different themes in the one conversation, but he would chop from theme to theme and then go back to the other theme.
Right.
Mate, my head was bamboozled by the end of it.
I couldn't remember anything
So,
at
but
the
they
end of that
are
meeting.
masters of it.
Oh my God! All right, we're gonna play ads, but just before, I got 2 bits of audio for you. This is off Instagram. It's cricket. And it's being played at a pretty professional-looking stadium, but obviously, like, there's a built-up area around it. So there's like houses and cars and stuff. And just listen to
Might be
how
in
this Instagram account just explains what's going on. It's definitely in Australia, but enjoy.
Only in Australia could you see these scenes unfold. Listen for the sound here. Wonderful. And now we get an angry customer.
Who the f*** hit my car? You got paid for the dance?
Who's in the right there? So obviously someone's hit a 6 that sailed out of the venue and onto his car. If he lives there, what's like?
I reckon the
game of
poor
cricket.
dudes in the right? They've got to have insurance. The cricket mob have to pay for that shit. What do you reckon?
Can we have an
Yeah, mate, it's so good.
good.
It's so good.
Only in Australia could you see these scenes unfold. Listen for the sound here. Wonderful.
That's a dip to the
now we get an angry customer.
Who the
We,
I live here. You got paid for the dance?
he should know he hit the car. The batsman
that's right.
with the bat standing at the striker's head.
Yes, mate, absolutely.
I can't believe the pause. Who the F hit me car?
In other news,
Really?
yeah. Someone sent this to me, and if you hear any
Okay.
spasmodic drop, you send it to us because it's the greatest word in football broadcasting. Let's go to the great Damien Barrett. What's his podcast called? Footy Daily or something? Footy Daily. Anyway,
AFL
here we go.
Daily.
That's the one.
Clubs aren't
He's talking about the great Harrison Petty from the D's.
clubs aren't into that sort of trickery as much as they once were. I don't think anyway, in terms of what they name on the 23. So, yeah, I'm surprised, and good luck to Harrison Petty because it's a massive task. I mean, he needs to do something. He's been in spasmodic this season.
Come on!
Very good.
Come on!
Damo's definitely getting on board this podcast.
Yes, he is.
He's heard it, Grising.
Ads back in a second. Welcome back to Brownie's podcast. Beck, how's the golf going anyway?
It's been raining, so...
Right. So not playing?
No, and I'm missing my golf next week because I've got a marathon to run.
Oh,
so.
what? You're running a full marathon?
Not a full, it's a half.
Oh, okay. Well, you left the half bit out.
Happy birthday to us all. Bros, you all good? Anything you need to tell us before we go to What a World? No, just the thumbs up from him.
Time for What a World.
Yes.
Now, there's plenty going on in Spain at the moment. Alcaraz won Wimbledon overnight.
Yes.
We had Spain winning the Euro 2024. And in Spain this summer, they've got a new porn passport.
Yes.
Heavy users of online porn will start receiving alerts if they access websites too frequently under Spanish government's new plans. The message will prompt them to renew their digital passport to avoid being tracked in their porn usage. The initiative is part of a new digital wallet designed to maintain user anonymity while verifying their age for accessing adult content, right? So that all makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah.
But starting late this summer, adults would need to provide their credentials through the electronic ID, digital certificate, right? And then upon verification, they will receive a pack of 30 tokens valid for 30 days.
What?
The token system aims to minimise frequent identity checks, thus reducing privacy concerns for the government. Heavy porn users who exhaust their tokens will then need to re-verify their ID more often, increasing their risk of being tracked.
Wow.
Consequently, the government plans to send alerts to all these users. So if someone is watching too much porn, it's like they've got to keep reapplying online. And all they want to do is pull their dick.
Sorry.
What a world!
Sorry.
Thank you, Jeff. Yes. Well, if you're wondering how much is too much porn, I just Googled it. There is no exact data about how many hours you can watch, but if you're spending around 4 hours a week to watch porn, that's okay.
It's okay.
4 hours seems too much.
Too much,
That's
yeah,
way too
Dino.
much.
And Dino, poor bastard will be out of tokens by Wednesday.
See you later.
Yeah.